Greetings, my name is Joel Blizzard. I'm going to be talking to you about my capstone project that I did this year. I thought I'd start out by showing you my classroom website as it pertains to the topic, which is using eportfolio's assessment in the project-based learning environment. And I'm showing you the class website that we used because it contains much of what I've developed over the last several years teaching this course, and I feel that the experience that I've had, combined with the research that I found and other experiences from other teachers who have guided me through this process of using ePortfolios within the project-based learning environment, informs a great deal of how I formed some of the ideas that I came to within the context of the research paper. So what is an e-portfolio? Well, it's a digital method, according to Lorenzo and Idelson, a collection of artifacts, including demonstrations, resources, and accomplishments that represents an individual, group, or institution. This, I think, speaks to how we would use this in the context of the classroom. And so I'm going to show you right here on our website that we learn by teaching. And as you work on your ePortfolio projects and learning journey, you'll be expected to update and document your learning on an ePortfolio. So we introduce this to the students and then move on to projects where they learn new skills, use new tools, and develop learning in the constructivist mindset. An important beginning to creating an ePortfolio with the students involves creating an identity homepage. And this is where the students show their interests, their hobbies, things they might be interested, where they came from, a little bit of their background. And that way they can then build from there to start to choose a project that fits those interests. So at this point, we introduce to them the variety of different areas that they could begin a project in, and then they go on to develop a project page based on what they've started to learn through the design process that we go through. So the ePortfolio is an ongoing process throughout the year of continuity, where information is shared that shows their reflections and how they've accessed the design process to repair in real time and share with a community for feedback. Now, of course, before they begin to develop these ePortfolios, they're shown several examples, and the ePortfolio rubric on the webpage here, which asks that they create as many artifacts as they can, but with a minimum of a video, 5 photographs, and ample text to show that they've reflected on the design process, that they've learned by doing and have arrived at some kind of conclusion about where they've developed skills and new mindsets that they might share with other people. So this is the ePortfolio example that the students see in the beginning of the year when they're studying this. This is an identity homepage that I created about myself and just sort of try to break the ice for the students. And then it moves on to a project that I conducted myself to just create a sort of template for how they would move through the design process. You can see that we have some steps here. The design solutions asks them to, perform research and make plans, and then move on to make whatever it is that they've been planning. and then document that along the way. So you can see, like as I mentioned in the rubric, that we would ask for photographs and some written reflections. This, of course, would be an ongoing process, as I said. So it looks at and I have to encourage students to discuss how they failed in some ways. So I try to lead by example here, where there was a failure in this project that I was attempting. And so to make that a central piece of it, because that's where true learning occurs. And then the end of this page, there's a ample experience of reflection, and then moving on to another project here. So, and this is a different model where I allow students to just make a tutorial. And if they're opting to create just this tutorial, then they can provide steps for a process and any necessary, tools and equipment lists that people might make. And in this case, it's programming a microcontroller and providing the scheme and the code and the steps of the process.